Hi, I'm Brandon J from WA Production, and in this video I will show you how I made this.
Bring the bass.
Alright, so let's start with a clean plate. Let's grab my favorite built-in synth called Harmor and look for some really good preset to start our track with. I will start with a pre-build-up section with this pattern. I layered it with some few other sounds, and this is how it turned out. Let's keep things organized, shall we? I copied most of the pattern from the pre-build-up to the build-up section, but with some new entries like this bass riser. I laid out these two melodies for the drop, one for the first half, and the other for the second half. Again, after layering them with some other sounds, it ended up like this. And then, after adding the rest of the elements, voila! Beautiful. Now let's finish our build-up using samples from one of the 6 sample packs included in the bundle. I'll grab this vocal loop right here, drag it to the timeline, and make sure it is aligned well with the grid. Slice them in different proportions and arrange them like so. To get that smooth transition between the clips, I'll set the declicking mode to generic bleeding. I'll rename and color this track accordingly to keep things tidy. Next, I will set the pitch range to 12 semitones, equal to 1 octave, and then set the mode to Stretch Pro for better results. Now, I will automate the pitch to add some tension in the midsection of the buildup. Add some reverb and do the same thing with the wet knob. I'll add another riser sound effect using the same sample, but this time I will need to do it in parallel. The same reverb plugin will also be used, but with different preset tuned in. Again, I'll create an automation clip for the wet knob, but this time I will start automating from the beginning instead of the mid. Lastly, I will adjust the fader until the desired effect is achieved. Now to finalize it, I will need to add some stopper to cut out the reverb tail in the break. You can do it using the mixer fader, but for flexibility's sake, it's better to do it this way. Overall, our vocal riser sounds like this.
Be ready for this.
Now we need something to fill in the gap between the build-up and the drop. I'll pick this sample and place it in the gap in such a way that it will not interfere with the drop. I will use an EQ to add some presence to it, and of course, our favorite plugin, the Sound Goodizer. To finalize it, I will add some reverb, just enough for it to not sound like it's too separated from the rest of the elements. And that's about it. It's not much, but there's plenty more to play around with. So go grab your copy now for a reasonable price. The link is in the video description. And I promise you that you will not regret it. Peace.
Lokapalika Rajini